Alright guys, Simon here, we're playing Mass Effect 3 and we've just started the game, I guess. We've gone through the introduction bits and now we're flying around the galaxy, as usual. Alright, let's go to Eden Prime, because we need to pick up something quite important here. This idyllic agrarian world was one of the first human colonies established beyond the Charon mass relay. Eden Prime's fertile biosphere drew heavy immigration from the Systems Alliance and other human organizations. Alright, so blah 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 blah, let's land. I feel bad that they spend so much time writing all this stuff. And it is interesting stuff. But nothing we want to read right now though. Actually we only have Liara and James at the moment. Actually, let's give her some mods because we've got them. We can't mod her. Oh, this is James, isn't it? His. We can't mod his assault rifle. I don't know if I should give him the other assault rifle. No, I'm just gonna keep the keep that. That is fine. Can I have? No, I don't have mods for pistols. Alright. She's got 2 points, which we're not going to use. James has 4 points, which we're going to save for Carnage. Shepard's going to do nothing.
Eden Prime. This is where it all began. Where the Prothean beacon gave you the vision that warned us about the Reapers.
And where you went up against Saren in the Geth for the first time, no?
Yes. And now, with Cerberus here, Eden Prime's colonists are under attack again.
Seems like more than just 3 years ago.
How bad?
A lot of dead civilians. Lost one of my men, Jenkins, with a Geth drone.
Reports said Saren had bombs set up to wipe out the whole colony.
Not on my watch.
Damn straight, Lola.
Cerberus hit Eden Prime hard. Whatever they found here was worth a major offensive. There are survivors elsewhere on the colony, but they killed everyone near the dig site.
They deserve better.
I know. The Alliance did what it could to evacuate colonists, but Cerberus came in so quickly.
If we find survivors, we'll do what we can. What about this artifact? Is it part of the Prothean device we found on Mars?
The Alliance didn't get any specifics about what Cerberus has uncovered. But whatever it is, it's better off with us than with Cerberus.
I'm bringing you in as close to the dig site as I can. No way we'll avoid detection, but you should have a few minutes.
Understood. Alright, everyone. Get ready to move.
With luck, we can get to the dig site before Cerberus knows we're here.
Yes. So we're back on Eden Prime. They've rebuilt after the Geth attacks. But now Reapers and Cerberus. What a
No
fun
sign of survivors. Come on, we need to find the dig site.
what a fun place this galaxy is, huh? If it's not one thing, it's
Was a
another.
beautiful colony once.
They came back after the Geth attack. They'll come back from this.
The city on Earth where I grew up was hard and dirty. I can see it as a war zone. Eden Prime doesn't deserve this.
Nobody does. But they'll be stronger for it.
There's not much agriculture here though, is there? I mean, there's a few buildings, there's some towers. No actual farms. I thought the intro to this planet said it's got a few farms on it. It doesn't really look like it, does it? Never mind. Let's just walk in. Maybe I should get that ready on the sniper rifle. Did I not do that? Alright, get that ready on the sniper rifle. And maybe also the submachine gun. It's got a scope on it now. Alright, let's keep going. Lag issues. That's not good. Hope that clears up.
Look at that. Bits of Prothean tech sticking out of the ground like an old bone.
Hey, Liara, you ever find dinosaurs while you're digging around?
No, dinosaurs and other fossils would be paleontology. I'm an archaeologist. I study artifacts left by sapient species. The two fields are completely different, and... you were joking.
Hey, I just like dinosaurs.
Dinosaurs are awesome. We don't get to fight dinosaurs though. We get to fight giant cuttlefish. It's not the same, is it? Let's go explore these buildings. I'm thinking maybe there's loot inside here. Let's see, so there's kitchens. Yeah, I'm pretty sure, I'm kind of 100% sure, which means I'm pretty sure that they've spent more time on the detailing inside these buildings. You can see that there's more stuff here, like they've made more models, there's more details, like there's more clutter on the tables and everything. It's good, I approve. I'm gonna leave that medkit there for now. Actually, should I leave that medkit there for now? I want to leave that medkit. No, I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna take it for the experience. I don't think we're gonna have any trouble. Processing update. We've taken more able-bodied men and women from pacified neighborhoods. The colonists generally have accepted the story that they've gone to perform tedious but safe manual labor in a Cerberus research camp on the other side of the planet. And when we increased food rations as payment for the work, most of the complaints died out. Maintain the story as long as possible. We don't have the manpower to fight the entire colony, and if these families knew they were never going to see their sons and daughters again, there's no way they'd cooperate.
Shepard, this Cerberus data could help the colonists still alive on other parts of Eden Prime.
How?
I can get this intel to Eden Prime's resistance. Maybe it will help them fight back against Cerberus.
Right, so Cerberus is doing bad things here at this colony. And apparently that's also war assets. Picking up bits of data pads from random buildings. Yeah, look at that, there's much more clutter. And they're not, you know, the boxes aren't stacked properly sometimes too, so it's kind of more interesting, right? The prefabs are more complicated. Everything's just been improved. Like they spend time kind of making everything more interesting. Although those are kind of familiar though. Do you remember those from the second game? So they've reused a lot of assets, but they've also added...
the elevator that leads down into the dig site.
They've also added more assets to the game, which is good.
Goddess, that doesn't seem possible. It's not a Prothean artifact, it's... a Prothean.
You mean a collector? Those things the Reapers turned the Protheans into?
No, an original unmodified Prothean who's still alive.
You're right. That doesn't sound possible.
You saw Prothean stasis chambers in the archives on Ilos. The only reason those failed was a lack of power. Cerberus found this in an underground bunker. It still has power. He's been in stasis for the past 50,000 years, waiting for us. Think of what we could learn.
What can you tell me about the Protheans? The people, not the technology.
Given your experience with the Prothean cipher, you probably know as much about them as I do. The Prothean Empire spanned the known galaxy. They uplifted countless other species to help them join the galactic community.
Uplifted, huh? Like when the Solarians helped the Krogan to evolve a little faster.
Yes. Judging by the dig sites like the Prothean Archive on Mars or here on Eden Prime, the Protheans wanted other species to learn. It's clear that they prize knowledge, growth, and cooperation with the rest of the galaxy.
Yes, cooperation, growth, and what was the other one? Learning?
The way you describe them, they sound a lot like the Asari.
I'm certain I'm coloring their culture with my own perceptions. Whatever the Protheans were, finding one alive represents an incredible opportunity.
Good thing we brought our Prothean expert.
I hope I can help. If this single Prothean was sent into stasis, he could be the foremost scientist of his time, or perhaps the wisest counselor.
Maybe.
Cerberus damaged the life pod when they excavated it. The life signs are unstable.
And let's get him out of there.
No, breaking open the pod would kill him. We have to find the command signal that ends the stasis mode. We also need to figure out how to physically open the pod without doing more damage. Cerberus took over the labs nearby to research what they found at the dig site. That's likely our best bet.
It doesn't sound possible, really.
Heads up!
It really doesn't sound possible. I mean, when you tell a story, you gotta decide, are we gonna tell a story that's awesome, or are we gonna tell a story that's believable? They've chosen to tell the awesome story, not really the believable story. Are these people trying to snipe me? They are. Hey, no, stop that. Ow. Alright, we're gonna do it your way. Sniping. Somebody kill that guy, please. Where are those? Okay, there's one there. Let's get a grenade. Alright, where's the there? There. Actually, shoot her behind the cover. Cause I've got armor piercing ammo. Oh, I see you. Okay, are we... this is kind of annoying. Can we stop messing around and just shoot each other? Oh, I think he's dead. Alright.
Let's get moving before more of them come back.
Okay, so now we have to find out how to open the stasis pod. This is kind of DLC. It's like day one DLC. If you buy the, or if you pre-order the game, you could get this for free. Otherwise, you have to pay money for it. This part, the Prothean. Alright, let's just walk around. Try to make sure we find all the loot in these buildings. And look at this, there's paintings, tables. There's a lot of clutter here. It's amazing. Put in a lot more work. Although, I mean, it's not technically difficult. It's just kind of putting in the hours to, you know, to design all this stuff, really. But still, I like that they've done it. Troop deployment update. Local resistance is heavy in the south and west section of the colony. We've pulled most of our troops from the north neighborhoods to assist. All remaining troops in north neighborhoods continue standard patrol activities to maintain the illusion of a large presence in the area. If the locals knew we were understaffed, they could do some serious damage.
More intel to help the colonists. The more we find, the better chance they'll have.
Yes. And then loot. The thing about making a series like Mass Effect is that the assets you make in the earlier games you can kind of reuse in later games. So, you know, the longer the series goes, the more stuff you have to work from. But at the same time, the decisions that you make in the earlier games, you have to carry over in later games. Which means there's more work for you to you know, tell the same story. For example, like, you know, if somebody has the option to die, oh, well, no, that's not really. I mean, if somebody might die during the course of a game, then you have to, in the next game, you have to accommodate that. So you have to design the game so that, you know, what happens if he does die, what happens if he doesn't die. So then you have to, you know, have two options in the following game to accommodate the fact that the guy had the option to die in the earlier game. So every time you have a decision, what are you doing? So every time, oh wow, this is so bad. So every time you have a decision, just kill these guys. Like every time you branch the story, you end up having to make more game to accommodate the branch, if that makes sense. So they're not going to make a Mass Effect 4, or if they are, they're not going to tell the same story again. Because what happens is, you create too much work for yourself, because there's too much baggage. Why is he up there? Like, there's too much baggage, and it gets really difficult to... Really? There's more guys? jump over, bro. Jump over. Yeah, you roll around. You keep rolling around. See how that works out. So, you know, after 3 games, they're causing... You know, they've created too much work for themselves. Because, you know, some people die, some people don't. Every time you know, make a decision, you have to make 2 different outcomes in later games. And things like that. And so, you know, after 3 games, there's just too much stuff. Like, because you have to spend so much time working on the variations of the story, the amount of time you can spend on just the original story is less. Resistance information update. We've gotten word from our source within Eden Prime's resistance movement that we can expect an attack on our security center between 2200 and 2300 tomorrow night. They're pulling in forces from across the colony. There's a perfect chance to destroy the leadership. Once the attack is contained, allow Dr. William Cambiata to escape, firing near-miss shots to keep it realistic. He's giving us good information, and with luck the locals will see him as a daring hero and the only man to escape the Cerberus trap. They might even put him in charge.
Perfect. This intel will give Eden Prime's resistance movement a real chance to push Cerberus out of their colony.
Alright. And okay, going back to what I was talking about. So, what was I saying? Yeah, so I mean, if you're having to make 4 or 5 variations of the story, I mean, you could have made the same story 5 times longer, but because you have to make different variations, like, you know, you could have made 5 times as much story if you weren't making variations. If you're just kind of telling one story.
There. That lab found footage of the Protheans. Cerberus is studying it to figure out how to physically open the pod.
Then you could have been telling a lot more story than if you have to make several variations of every bit of story you try to tell. I mean, can you imagine, like, after 7 or 8 games, like, you couldn't afford to keep making more games because you spend all your time just making the variations of that one story. Also, the hacking mini games are gone completely now. You don't actually have to hack anything anymore. It's just automatic bypass. There's no loot here. We haven't actually picked up any, you know, weapon upgrades or anything like that yet. Although, nope, there isn't anything here. Cuttlefish. Man, they have to fight the collectors, which is their people, turn into husks. The human husks are pretty wimpy. The Prothean husks are pretty dangerous.
Victory! Seal the focus!
Acknowledged.
How many have we lost?
Reaper forces have destroyed approximately 300,000 life pods.
Third of our people.
Alert! Broadside bulkhead cannot be sealed. Hostiles detected.
Then all forces to the north.
I think I can duplicate that to open the life pod.
You understood that?
You didn't?
No. All I saw was static. Cerberus was trying to make sense of it without success. The Prothean cipher you received on Pharaohs, it lets you see the images as a Prothean would and understand their language.
Whatever it does, I saw the video, and how they sealed the life pods.
Perfect. Then we just need the signal they use to activate stasis mode.
I thought Liara also has the cipher because we kind of melted our brains a little bit back in the first game.